Could we not bomb the people who we get oil from? I think we pay enough for gasoline. Can we bomb people that we get herpes from? That would solve a lot of problems.
Bad news, call girls. I got a signed memorandum from Mr. Gates saying that he got herpes from one of y'all.
Dropping bombs now.
What if in the 1980s, instead of Reagan having a war on drugs, we had a war on herpes? Like, what would that have looked like? How would that have changed the outcome of the world?
Oh. Probably would have been just as effective as the war on drugs.
Exactly right. So we give the guns to the people that have the herpes. You're like, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then what? Well, then they shoot the herpes. You're like, I don't think that's how this works.
No.
Quiet, please.
Nothing like the trickle-down
4,
herpes vaccine.
3, 2.
The Apple Company presents a Truly Terrible Podcast. Welcome to Nonsense, Season 4, Episode 14. I'm Jeff Parker.
I'm CJ Little.
This is our take on the week's business, tech, and entertainment headlines. This time, the Claude paradox. U.S. missiles fly using AI the president just banned.
Oh, great. So what are we going to go back to? Like war planning with the Whopper?
Yes.
Because somebody should call Broderick and let him know.
Want to play a game? Paramount Warner Discovery deal eyes $6 billion in synergy savings.
Oh, yeah. I know what that means. No more name brand snacks in the kitchen. It's all going to be just member mark.
It means no more kitchen, and it means no more employment in Los Angeles.
That's what I meant. Sorry. Also those things.
Cable's new king. Charter buys Cox, surpassing Comcast.
You know, I've noticed over the past few years that ISPs have really struggled with raising prices quickly. So I hopefully this will help smooth that out for them. They can get back to their...
I'm sure this is going to be great. Yeah. Also, our big story later this week is about plastic purgatory, past, present, and future. It's World Wildlife Day. World Wildlife Day isn't just a salute to the majestic or the cute. It's a recognition of our own life support system. From the bees pollinating our food to the forest filtering our air, every species plays a critical role in the machinery of our survival. To protect them is to protect ourselves. Our survival isn't a solo act. It's a symphony of coexistence.
And that wildlife loves the plastic, too.
How is your week going?
Well, the highlight of my week was hosting a bunch of friends and family for my youngest son's birthday.
Well, how old is he now?
He is 6,
okay.
Going on 30.
Yeah.
He wanted a Carnival-themed birthday, which is like the cutest thing ever. And he knows that if we're going to do it, like we're going to do it. So we created carnival games, like fun carnival games for them to play. Carnival food, because I was like, you got to have carnival food.
Rented a roller coaster, rented a Ferris wheel.
I thought about it, but then you start getting into real liability risk.
Sure.
A wall of prizes. We got like giant stuffies, like the stuffies that the kids see when they go to the carnival. Like, oh,
sure,
I want to win that. And they play the game and they get like the little tiny keychain stuffy. Like,
sure.
I wanted to skip that step. So we really went overboard on the stuffies.
Every kid wins a giant stuffy.
Yeah, there were several kids that came up to me and they're like, so how do I get the prizes? I'm like, well, you have to make at least one ticket. Like you basically play any game and get a ticket. And then one of the kids came over. He was so cute. He's like, well, but I have more. And he has this like handful of tickets. And he's like, so I should get a bigger prize. And I was like, that's exactly how this isn't going to work. Like what's going to happen is everyone's here is going home with stuffies. And we actually had extra at the end. So I was walking around the park handing them out to other parents. Because like it's creepy if I'm in the park handing out stuffies to kids. So I go up to the parents and be like, hey, excuse me, we had this party. I have extra. Would you like some? And the parents were really gracious. But I'm like, this is definitely how I get on a list. This is not a good thing to be doing. But I wanted, I wanted to make the food like very fitting to the scene. So I literally considered renting a mobile deep fryer so that I could make funnel cakes.
Oh, yeah. Surely they have like
they exist.
Food trucks that you can rent and those sorts of things.
I've never made a funnel cake in my life, but I was like, what better time than learn it now? I think that was an extremely terrible idea. So I decided not to do that. And instead, I literally brought a barbecue from home, from my stash at home to the park because I didn't want to use the park barbecues. They're kind of gross.
Sure.
And we needed like a big green space. We wanted like, equipment for the kids to play on. So I rented out the park and I brought a barbecue. And my friends that know me were like, did you bring this from your house? And I was like, sure did. So we had carnival food. It was great. Unfortunately, cooking meant that I was doing that most of the time, which I don't mind. But I couldn't run one of my favorite Carney games that I wanted to run, which was the whole guess your genre, where like they guess your weight,
guess your weight,
age or whatever. And I thought it'd be really fun to just guess the kid's age because like they're all 5 or 6.
They're all
like
6.
That's it.
Right.
It's not hard. But I wanted to be like, oh, you're like, are you 12? Like, no. Anyway, I thought it would have been really fun, but I didn't.
I guess I didn't guess it. You get a stuffy.
The kids loved it, and like I got pictures from a bunch of parents of their kids sleeping with the stuffy they got. Like, I love this stuffy forever. I'm never gonna let it go. Really cute. I also a couple days before the party, I did hike up to a peak in the Santa Monica Mountains.
Yes.
To do nerd things, which was to watch the return of the Dragon cargo capsule, which came back in from the ISS.
Right.
This is the 4th one that I've made it a point to go see. I'm a veteran now. I've seen 3 of these. I know what I'm doing. Got the camera set up.
Sure.
Pointing over in the corner. One of my nephews was in town for the birthday party, so I brought him with me. Like, you're going to look over here. You're going to see a thing. It's going to be cool. I had four cameras set up. I know what I'm doing. And then we're like there waiting for you because the window you kind of know within a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies that was with us was like, oh, dude, it's over there. And I thought he was completely screwing with me.
Came in from a different direction.
It came in from a completely different trajectory, which broke my brain because I'm like, that thing's going to land in like Downey. And that's not good.
Yeah, sure.
That's not what you want. As it turns out, it did splash down in the water. Everything was fine. But we almost missed it and barely got any shots of it. So I was a little bummed about that. But it was still really cool to see. I still recommend going and seeing these reentries if you can.
Yeah, the first one I ever saw, I saw by accident.
Yeah.
I was actually driving somewhere, and in my windshield,
That's kind of the worst way to see it.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
And it looked like, good, here we go, War of the Worlds.
Yeah,
This is
War
the
of
end
the
of
Worlds.
everything.
That is exactly the first time I saw it. I did not know that it was happening. And I saw it and I was like, oh, this is not good. And my dinosaur aviation brain tried to rationalize it.
Of course.
And I was like, nothing looks like that. Like nothing looks like that. So no, this can't be good.
And it turns out nothing does look like
Yeah,
that.
it's very unique. And I still have a tremendous amount of regret of not going to see the shuttle land in Edwards when I was much younger and more handsome and when I first met you and didn't make the opportunity to go because I was like, oh, it's the shuttle. It'll land again here. I'll go some other time.
Yeah.
And I never went to go see it. So now I'm going to watch every single one of these.
You can watch them build a building around it at USC.
That's also going to be really cool. I do fully expect that. Like, I plan on having picnics inside that thing as often as I can until they ban me. Anyway, that was my week. It was, those two things were a lot of fun and I had a great time.
That's a good week.
Yeah. How about you?
Going into month 3 of deferred maintenance on the house. You can hear the pounding. I mean, there are still workers who are still at this late hour still here, which is kind of crazy.
I know when I showed up this morning, they handed me a paintbrush. I was like, no, I'm not.
Get to work.
You don't
Everybody
want me
gets to work
I'm
here.
a terrible painter.
My poor neighbors. There are so many workers in the yard.
No.
And the parking out front is bad.
Your neighbors have done much worse reconstruction projects than you. Poor neighbors.
At least these people are fairly thoughtful workmen.
Yeah.
I want to say out of all of this, in case anyone needs some advice, if you're going to do some serious house sprucing up.
I needed some advice.
The best move I made was paying the painters by the hour.
Why?
I could have had them give me a flat bid.
Sure.
And then they would have done things like painted gates and things and just painted over the wood that
Just to
was
get it
like
done.
completely, just because
Now they're finding everything.
Right.
Sure.
In this case, they call me over and they say, look, I can stick my finger in. It's so rotten here. I can stick my finger through the wood. And,
Sure.
And every little thing they find. And it's been wonderful to get all of that stuff replaced and fixed and not falling apart.
I noticed the scar where they took out the other kidney. That doesn't, I feel like that's not
cheap.
optimal. Yeah.
But your option is you're getting a coat of paint over a house that's falling apart and no one's improving it.
You redoing your house is like when people restore classic cars. I don't want to be the guy doing it. I want to be the guy buying it when you're done. Like I want to get all that stuff for like 20 cents on the dollar when you're done.
I have a hunch that our original contractor did all of the things that he did with the
expectation of coming back
under the impression that we would long be moved out of here by the time the stuff falling apart.
Yeah, everybody that builds everything, they're just like, oh, you're not going to have to worry about it. Like, well, maybe I will. Are we the new Yankee Workshop, or is it this super old house? What's our new branding? I feel like it's a home improvement
super
store.
Old house. As the painting outside winds down, the demo for the inside remodeling begins.
As the painting winds down, sir, I will take the over. I will go to Kalshi right now and put everything on the over.
Does anyone actually like this process?
Yeah, the guy's doing the work, getting paid by the hour. Like, I didn't tell you because I felt awkward doing it, but the paintbrush they handed me was like a little tiny 4-bristle brush. So like he likes it to be very accurate and neat.
Well, they have done excellent work. They
don't even
like
have
that, actually.
Of course, that's what you want.
All right, so we get to our headlines.
I hope so.
We're here, why not? Banned but not deployed. The Pentagon uses Anthropic for strikes hours after Trump ban. The irony is lethal. Hours after the Trump administration blacklisted Anthropic from federal contracts, the Pentagon reportedly utilized Claude's reasoning capabilities to coordinate precision strikes across the Middle East. The ban, triggered by Anthropic's refusal to waive safety filters for lethal bombing operations, hit a wall of operational reality. While the White House demands AI without blinders, the military remains quietly addicted to the very sophisticated logic the ban targets.
Oh, yeah, the logic is exceptional. The logic is this. We can find a way to make this kind of sound legal, therefore we're going to do it. That is basically the logic.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this now for, I kind of think forever, but at least for the past 30 years that I've been paying attention, this has been the case.
Anthropic is very clearly saying, please do not use our AI to target people you are going to kill.
Yeah.
Our AI is not good enough to do this. We might just get Bill in Montana.
No, Anthropic's not saying that. They're saying if you use our AI to target people and kill them, have a human be in the loop to
Right.
control
That's
the final
the same
outcome.
thing.
Well, but you can still use it to target.
To say yes or no.
They're just saying that you need to have a human that isn't just responsible, but is in control. That is an inherent difference. Is they're saying you got to have some modicum of control. They've also sort of alluded, and this depends on how you read it, but my read on it is they've alluded that at some point that won't be a necessity. But they're saying right now, and I think this is them being extremely realistic, they're saying right now,
there's safety conscious.
Our stuff is not good enough, right? And really when they say our stuff, I think they mean
all AI.
All of our stuff. Everyone is not ready to go. Like, I'm not willing to give this thing access to my Gmail. It probably shouldn't be running around targeting and killing people with no oversight. And that's where their head is at. And I look at that and I go, well, that seems pretty reasonable to me. And we're not just talking about we lead with killing people, but there's another thing that I'd argue is even, I shouldn't argue is worse. There's another thing that's equally bad, which is the mass surveillance. They also said
that's the thing. Yeah. They actually had somewhat come to terms about navigating what military can and can't do with AI. And then on Friday afternoon, Anthropic learned that the Pentagon still wanted to use the company's AI to analyze bulk data collected from Americans. That could include information such as questions you ask your favorite chatbot, your Google search history, your GPS tracked movements, your credit card transactions, all of which could be cross-referenced with other details about your life. That's when Anthropic said no.
Anthropic didn't say no to mass surveillance. They said no to mass surveillance of Americans.
Yes.
That is explicitly what they said.
Correct.
Right? And there are so many end runs around this. This is what Jeff was alluding to earlier. And what we do see now in our current intelligence complex is they'll be like, oh, no, we won't spy on Americans in America.
Right.
They'll just go get the data outside of America and spy on Americans outside. And you're like, really? This seems like the letter of the law, not the spirit of the law. Maybe we should, I don't know, update the laws, because that doesn't seem like the thing that we want to do. But this has been going on for 25 years, right? Since post 9/11 Patriot Act, we've basically given up these liberties under the sort of FUD doctrine of we're scared.
I'm not sure we legally gave up these liberties.
Well, we gave up a lot in the Patriot Act, for sure.
We did. But I think the government has just taken that and pushed that way farther than we were ever allowing in the Patriot Act.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's definitely been advanced, let's say. That's a nice word that probably doesn't get me shot. Maybe not.
So Anthropic says no to the deal, and like a couple hours later, OpenAI Sam Altman makes a deal called the Frontier Defense Pact, which basically gives all of those things to the Pentagon.
Yeah, so OpenAI's stance on this is as long as it's legal and lawful, they can do it.
Right.
That's their basic stance, is they're saying, well, only things that are legal and lawful.
That allows the administration to open up its definition of what is legal and lawful, and they get to interpret what is and is not legal and lawful.
And there's also so many, you can't unring the bell scenarios, as we've seen, especially more so lately, where it's like, I'm just going to do what I want to do because I have all the power. And by the time the courts catch up and figure it out, the damage is already done.
Like, say, declare war?
That would be one example of many.
Because when I was in 5th grade and I read the Constitution, they said that had to come from Congress. And now apparently that doesn't have to come from Congress. If you missed a few days of the news, but apparently I missed the one where we changed the Constitution.
To be fair, when you were in 5th grade, they hadn't fully read the Constitution because the ink was still wet.
Thank you.
You don't even have to stop there. There's so many other examples of, an interpretation.
No, that's just a recent one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Sorry. One of many. We're trying to narrow the scope of the conversation. I appreciate that. But what is known here and what is being exploited, at least part of what's being exploited in my eyes, is the fact that the system is inherently not fast. The system takes time.
The justice system, yes.
And that's to make sure that we get it right. To be right over being quick. It's better to be right and accurate than to be fast. Mm-hmm. And then you can take advantage of that. If you have a modicum of power, and let's say you're granted some modicum of immunity, you just go do whatever the hell that you want. Yeah. And by the time they catch up to you, the damage is already done. And that's being executed, from my observation, extremely well. Yeah. Just like, nope, I'm going to just do this and good luck. And you've already done the damage, whether it's with declaring war, some sort of military invasion or practice, or something as trivial, quote unquote, as tariffs. I can just do these things and I'm not going to worry about it. I have this power somewhere. Good luck catching up to me. Right. And it does, but it takes a while. So I still have some modicum of faith in the system, but it's waning.
OpenAI didn't just join the military, it opened the door to your living room. In a massive deal with the Department of War, the company agreed to let federal agencies monitor its systems for national security. This means the government can now scan millions of private chats to spot troublemakers or anyone leaning against the administration. While Anthropic got banned for protecting user boundaries, OpenAI chose to become the ultimate snitch. By handing over the keys to its data, OpenAI traded your privacy for a permanent partnership with the state. They aren't just building AI anymore, they've built a digital spy.
I like the idea of these large large model providers locking arms and doing standing up to things like this that they believe shouldn't be the case. I really do like that idea. A little altruistic. Could it happen? Yeah, we could maybe make it happen. Has it happened? No, not really. Not in this case. That's not the solution to the problem. The solution to the problem is we got to change the law. We've got to make the law more specific and clear.
We just did change the law. Under the 2026 Frontier Defense Framework, these scans would not require a warrant for each individual, which they would have until this.
We've changed the law just in a different direction.
The national security designation allows the AI to run these checks as a background process on everyone simultaneously.
And if I went and interviewed 100 Americans on the street today and asked them about any of this, my hunch is less than 5%, maybe one, would know what the hell we're talking about.
Exactly.
But meanwhile, we're arguing over the names that are on the doors of bathrooms. Like those are the
right.
That's the thing that's important, but it's the distraction of the things that are truly important, like you giving up your, I don't want to say anonymity, but like you now can be profiled more so than ever. If you don't have these folks locking arms in this massive technology, which again, I would argue that wouldn't even solve the problem. You have too many open source models. There's really nothing stopping the government or any entity from being able to implement this themselves. You can get access to the data, right? With not even a lot of money, I can go buy all this data myself, assemble it, throw a model on it, and start finding out all sorts of things about you.
Right.
It's not that hard, but we should maybe have, I don't know, protections against it.
The Ayatollah Khomeini is dead, and Trump has projected we will have a 4 to 5 week war in Iran. What's the over-under?
On time?
Yeah.
What's the line? You're saying 4.5 weeks is the line?
4 to 5 weeks.
Oh, well, 4 to 5. You got to get, what's the over? So you're saying under 4 or over?
Take 5 weeks.
I'm going to take, I love how this is the thing I'm a pedantic on. I'm like, give me a number. I'm going to take the, what do you call it? The over? Can I take the over? I'll take the over.
The way over?
The way over. Is there a way over option? 4 to 5 weeks.
How long were we in Afghanistan? We went to Afghanistan. I think we stayed for a good 10 years.
Something like that. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
The good news about this, though, is that, and I don't know much about geopolitics, I'm a geopolitics guy, but I know that while this is in play, that a lot of people will, everybody really, will no longer be concerned about the Kid Rock.
Epstein files.
The Epstein files. Yeah. It's all fine.
Yeah, it's true.
It's fine. It's all fine. Let's let it go.
Don't look here, look over here.
Don't look here, look over there. I've seen magicians. I know how they work.
Peak streaming realized HBO Max and Paramount Plus prepare to become one. On yesterday's Paramount investor call, CEO David Ellison confirmed the ultimate consolidation. HBO Max and Paramount Plus will merge into a single streaming powerhouse. This entity will command over 200 million subscribers, uniting Game of Thrones and Harry Potter with Star Trek and Yellowstone.
It's so hard for me to see this and not think of Cory Doctorow and think of the new service being called Enshittification Plus. Like that's what they're going to call the new service.
We changed the name 100 times. It was HBO, it was HBO Max, then it was Max. Now it's back to HBO Max.
Okay.
What's it going to be now?
I have a little personal bias.
Everybody's going to change the name.
I kind of like to being called Max since one of my kids happens to have that name, but like, I can't imagine a more gold-plated name than HBO.
Why they ever took HBO off? It was crazy.
Why would you drop it? Like Max is a great modifier, but it's on everything. You can't protect it. Like I have a ladder that has Max on it. Like everything has Max on it.
A massive $110 billion enterprise value.
Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. That's as of yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's worth less today. Ask me again next week.
Yeah, this is the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers has merged so many times with so many other companies, with AOL, with AT&T, and it's always been a disaster.
Yeah, not this time.
It's never come out well.
We're bringing buggy whips back. We're going to do it.
Why does anyone still want to merge with Warner Brothers?
I mean, what do you think the AT&T executives are like? I feel like they're just drinking scotch right now, just like watching.
Oh, totally.
They're like, what's that? It's like the 1970s Miami Dolphins team that went undefeated, and like they get together and have a drink every year when the last undefeated team loses. I feel like it's like that. Like they're the version of that for business. It's like, okay,
100%.
Good luck. Let's see who gets it next.
Paramount, a massive money-losing enterprise.
Yeah.
Combined with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
An even more massive money-losing enterprise.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen here?
They should buy Rite Aid. That's what they should do next. They should buy Rite Aid and Joann's Fabrics and just have just roll them all up. Hey, Red Lobster, you still for sale? Yep, but throw it in the mix. Just get them all.
If only the Titanic and the Hindenburg could join forces.
The best I can the best I can make sense of this is Uncle Larry is like, hey, I want David to have his own thing, so I'm going to buy him his own thing. But it's like,
well, that's what he's doing. Yeah.
Have you seen Of Mice and Men? Like, it doesn't end well.
No, it's not.
The puppy doesn't make it. This puppy's not going to make it, and it's a $110 billion puppy.
$6 billion in cost savings.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
That is going to be a massive, massive set of layoffs in Los Angeles.
I'm sorry, you said cost savings. That's not how they worded it. They said, quote, synergy savings.
Right. I understand.
And then said, with the majority of it would be from, quote, non-labor sources, I think is what they said. And I'm like,
it's not possible. impossible.
What the hell's a non-labor source that's going to get you to the $3 billion? Like,
Right.
Nothing. But do you have like a giant tree in the back that you water with liquid gold? Like, what? How could you possibly get there?
I would think if these were two businesses that were both making money, just minting money, two great, which they're not, they're the exact opposite, it would still be a terrible idea. It's still a backward-looking view of what the movie industry once was.
Yeah.
You can imagine with $110 billion what Netflix can go off and make.
But first of all, Netflix just got a $3 billion free money ticket to go build some content to compete, right?
Yes.
Their breakup fee was real. Like they get a check out of this. Let's not lose sight of the fact that Netflix gets a check out of this deal, which is kind of awesome.
But it's not a huge check. It's not going to change it.
I know it's not a huge check, but it's made a couple shows for free.
If they were preparing to spend $110 billion to buy this, imagine what kind of content they can buy for $110 billion to bolster their brand.
Totally. So who, in your mind, is the real winner here?
Oh, by far Netflix.
Oh, really? I think there's a bigger winner than Netflix.
Well,
there's one bigger winner.
Obviously, David Zaslav is the huge winner because he's walking away with a pile of gold
and
doing nothing.
And all I'm sitting here going is like, please write your book. Please write your book. Let me just read it. I just want this is fantastic. This might be...
He was terrible at operations.
But this, I can't speak to that. I don't know one way or the other, but like from an M&A perspective, has there been a better deal that we've ever seen? I mean, granted, the ink isn't dry yet, but what we've seen so far just seems like amazing that he was able to achieve this.
Yeah.
I am fascinated by this. This has gone from being something that I wasn't terribly interested in to now I'm kind of riveted by to see how this all went down. So I am not bullish on the future, however.
There is nothing stopping anyone from starting their own streamer. There is nothing stopping Apple from deciding they want to step on the gas on their streamer.
That's what I don't get, especially if you're a personality. If you're a personality, why are you dealing with this? Why aren't you just doing this yourself? Production costs are super low.
Correct.
There's plenty of talent.
Correct.
You give them a little bit of ownership and you go build your own thing. What was the limiting factor on networks back in the day? It was bandwidth. It was number of broadcast bandwidth.
Bandwidth, always bandwidth.
And then we got cable, and then there was kind of a bandwidth restriction. You had a barrier to entry cost. That's all gone. Like it's literally gone. So if you can take the view of not wanting upfront cash and take a long view, if you're a personality, you have an idea, you can just go build it with gear that's super inexpensive and just about any setup. You don't even need a studio. You just need like a room.
You definitely do not need a backlot. You definitely don't need any of those things that a studio comes with, all of those legacy things. You think of all the things that come with the merger there. They get Game of Thrones, they get Harry Potter, they get Star Trek, they got Yellowstone, and you think, oh my gosh, the IP is just this tremendous thing. They're going to do so much with the IP. Okay, well, think about Netflix. Stranger Things, Squid Games, The Money Heist, BoJack Horseman, Love is Blind, Tiger King, Beef. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of shows that they have made with no IP that have been massively successful.
With no IP that now is IP.
Of course.
Like you've grown this IP up.
But they built it out of whole cloth. And they built huge hits this way. The idea that you need IP for your studio is really backward way of looking at how entertainment works in 2026.
I mean, it seems like this is a great opportunity for humans to be able to create interesting things that they can accelerate with the AI tools that exist, as opposed to looking through the lens of whatever N decades ago of like, nope, like that's not the way we're going to develop it. We're going to go through the channels the way we've always done it.
Right.
Like what? Like now it just...
In 2026, do you need a backlot where you can shoot? Do you need a costume department? Do you need a department that builds enormous sets? Those things are over.
You might still need costumes. But
no,
I guess not. I guess you could. Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm with you.
It's all coming out of the AI and it's going to look great. You still need writers. But you know what?
Listen, we piss off a lot of people. Don't piss off the writers because they're going to write really interesting letters to us that we're going to have to read and are going to be very compelling. Let's not piss off the writers.
I got good news for the writers. You're going to be employed the longest because AI is not good at writing scripts.
Please note his word choice. He did not say forever. He just said the longest. The longest could be measured in weeks. Nobody knows.
Think of it a lot longer than that.
I'll take the over on weeks.
Charter swallows Cox. The FCC greenlights a mega merger. The FCC has greenlit Charter Communications' $34.5 billion acquisition of Cox, paving the way for a new industry titan surpassing Comcast. Despite concerns from consumer advocates, the FCC claims the merger won't hike internet prices. Why? Regulators argue that fixed wireless and satellite providers now offer enough competition to keep the cable giants in check. To seal the deal, Charter promised to build out rural fiber and onshore thousands of overseas jobs. In a modern political twist, the approval also included a commitment to scrap diversity, equity, and inclusion hiring practices.
Couple things. First of all, I'm really glad you gave some context there because I thought we were doing the Nonsense After Dark show, and I'm glad that I wasn't prepared. So now, thank you.
Sure.
Also, I do feel like one of the things that's been really bugging me about ISPs is that they're just not all white.
Yes, now they'll be all white males.
I would really like if the ISP was just more white.
Sure, fantastic.
I'm sure the biggest problem with my crappy Comcast and Spectrum service was DEI. I'm sure that's what it was, and not their terrible business practices.
Well, it's cleared up
I'm really
now.
sure
By
that's
the
what
way,
it was. Yeah, it's all cleared up now. It's all fine. Yeah, they
all
made it
good
better.
now.
They got rid of DEI. That was the biggest problem we had. Not the fact that I live in one of, if not the wealthiest spot in America, and I have exactly one option for high-speed terrestrial internet.
Sure.
One. I can pick any one I want as long as it's that one. Like,
Right.
that definitely isn't the problem.
Chairman Brendan Carr touts lower price plans and big wins for Americans. Meanwhile, critics warn that further consolidation usually means one thing for your monthly bill: it's going up.
Has he seen There Will Be Blood? When out of consolidation do you get decreased prices? Name one time that consolidation has led to decreased prices.
Also, why would you consolidate if you were going to decrease your prices?
Exactly.
That's the whole point.
Exactly.
You got to get rid of competition.
You know what's going to be great? We're gonna spend a bunch of money to combine, and then we're going to make less money. Like, wait,
Yes,
what?
let's do that.
What are you talking about? This makes zero sense to me. And this is another place, like, I've found myself, generally speaking, I don't like a lot of regulation. I like free markets, but
Sure.
you think about things like access to the internet. What could be more utilitarian than that?
Right.
Like, you just need access to it.
Right.
And the market for that is terrible right now. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And my best option to bet on is wireless, and that's still not up to snuff of terrestrial. Like, let's get more terrestrial providers. We just don't have it. It's hard to make the math
6G's
make
coming.
sense.
6G's coming. Wait till 6G comes.
I mean, even 5G is pretty decent for home, and I think LEO will be a good competitor too as you get more LEO. But man, it's hard for me to say no to a cable, a fiber optic, or a wire that goes back to a place. Like, that does seem like a really nice option to have. It's durable.
The two don't compare even yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we had so many great plans for 5G, and granted, we're only halfway there.
Sure.
You don't really roll these things over until the zero mark on the decade.
Sure.
That you get each one of these Gs for about a decade. We are 5 years away or 4 years away, whatever we are from 6G. It's coming.
Yeah.
But we have not fulfilled the promises of 5G yet. When's the last time you saw a surgery done with remote controlled devices because you had such low latency on it? Just doesn't have.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be great.
None of those promises have been fulfilled yet.
Sorry, my surgeon botched my surgery because he's going through a tunnel. Great. That's exactly what I need. I mean, I'm still at the state where when I see the 5G Plus, I pretty much know my service is not going to work well.
Right.
Like, whenever I'm on the UW or the Plus, I'm like, you guys still haven't ironed this out.
Right.
Whenever I'm on that, I'm just like, oh, here we go. You know, and I'm not trying to perform surgery. I'm trying to just like read threads. Like, I'm not even trying to do something hard.
I'm really disappointed now that 5G Plus and 5G Max are going to merge. I don't know what the new one's going to be called.
It's going to be called more expensive. 5G more expensive. That's the new name.
Way more expensive.
This has like been a fascinating week of news. We certainly have had no shortage of it. The fact that we're going to end up with basically two ISPs in the country they do have minimal overlap, but to me that is the problem. Like, they cited this as part of their acquisition was we have minimal overlap, but I'm like, yes, exactly.
That's true.
That's the problem. The problem in California, of course, the CPUC was like, well, actually there's a lot of spots where they have some overlap, and I'm like, well, yeah, but it's not enough. It's like 25,000 out of 9 million. And the CPUC is like, well, this is the problem. And I'm like, really? It's not the other 8,750,000 people? Like, that's the bigger risk.
Tired of having no choice for ISPs. Although, did you see Google's little device? The Google came out with this little thing that goes, it's like 17-pound box, and it connects to like a telephone pole. You put it on a telephone pole.
Yeah.
And it uses light, and it gets 25 gigabytes symmetric.
I love it.
That's really fast. That's amazing.
So truth be told, when I first moved into this house a decade ago, I looked at line of sight options because I had such crappy terrestrial options. I looked at line of sight light options, and there were a couple. They have a couple. They're not terribly expensive. You have a heavy upfront cost because you have to buy the gear, but I was happy to do that.
Right, the gear.
But then you still run into, at least then, some real, like, there are some real problems you have to worry about. Like, for example, birds and planes and weather. And I was like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, really? Like, and all of that, by the way, is in a quest for better uplink, because that's my limiting factor is I can't get symmetric service. Most of us in LA and other major towns, you can't get symmetric service.
Yeah, right.
And then I'll have friends that know, and there's some of the listeners to this show, they know how to wind me up. If they're not if they're not praising me for the pause in between my first and last name, they're showing me their speed where they've got like 5 gigabits symmetric. And I'm like, okay, first of all, amazing. Second of all, you live in Stockton. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think it's worth the trade. Like, I'll stay here. Yeah.
That's the trade-off. Yeah.
Like, you got to go to Stockton in order to get them. Like, I don't want to live in Stockton. I want to live here. I'll take my crappy 30 meg uplink, but you know.
Bye, Stockton listeners. Okay, enough with the headlines. In fact, enough with the episode. We have to get out of here. Special thanks to our floor director, Mark Haynes. please.
They have my Amazon warehouses. I support them. It's just hot there. Anyway.
It is hot.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll be back later this week with our big story, magic pills and silver bullets, the solutions to all our plastics problems. Until then, thank you for listening to all this nonsense.
And here goes all our meth advertisers right along with them.
I'm Jeff Parker.
I'm Stu Little. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the War Room. The Joule Modular Storage with exclusive smart dock technology reinvents data storage. Joule drives are smaller, cable-free, and portable, allowing easier sharing and security. Not quite sure how it allows better security, the fact that it's portable, but the unique modular stacking system ensures future growth and prevents obsolescence.
That's important.
Start with a portable drive or a removable module that plugs into a smart dock for standalone use or into a stack for expansion.
Wow.
Joule's cordless plug-and-play modules use an ingenious vertebrae-like support and active termination, allowing instant addition, removal, or interchange without cable or assignment hassles. Coming up to 6 storage devices, including award-winning RAID systems, choose LaCie's Joule for advanced, cost-effective storage today.
Okay.
Now, for perspective,
Yes.
you could get a single gigabyte drive for what in today dollars would be about $1,200, which I think will help you in sort of time.
That totally gives it to me.
For 2 gigabytes of RAID drive storage, you're talking about $4,200 in today's money. 6.8 gigabytes, $20,000. These were advertised prices.
Wow.
That's converted to today's dollars.
Yeah.
$20,000. Now, give me a year.
Well, from those numbers, I can tell you because I bought
Yeah.
a gigabyte drive for roughly $1,000 in the mid-90s. It was not a LaCie, but I do remember LaCie drives. I still have, actually. LaCie is still in business.
Do you really? No way.
I have some old LaCie drives from not that long ago. And they're beautiful looking cases.
But did you know about this smart dock system?
Oh, my, no.
Because I did not.
Goodness, no.
And it looks really cool.
I did in the mid-90s buy a gigabyte for a little more than $1,000. So I'm going to go with like 1995, somewhere in
That's
there.
pretty close. 94 is, I think, when this product came to market. 95 is when I saw a lot of the ads for it, but I think it was late 94. I think my first gigabyte drive was probably around 93-ish.
Yeah.
And I do remember it being over $1,000. Anyway, the Joule modular storage system,
Fantastic.
1994.